This is the MMA UK Late Show and we are live. This is your Cage Warriors special. We're down to one guest, but it's a very, very fabulous guest. Welcome back, Aidan Stephen.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming on. It would have just been me and Peter chatting shit.
Oh, man. First, Luke, I hope Luke's watching this. I'm going to get you back for this.
So we were supposed to have Luke Shanks on the show tonight, but unfortunately something's come up for him last minute, so he couldn't make it. And Adam Amarazingo, hopefully he'll read his messages at some point. We might be able to get him on through the show, but if we could only pick one, we're glad it's you, Aidan. And Peter, thanks for being my co-host. Do you want to tell everyone about our amazing sponsor?
Yeah. The MMA UK Late Show is sponsored by Fight Fuel. Fight Fuel is a supplement and clothing company founded by martial artists for martial artists and all combat sport athletes. The aim of the company is to supply supplements and clothing of the highest standard to all fighters and warriors so they can train, perform and win, just like Aidan Stephen's going to.
So, Aidan, how have you been?
Yeah, I've been good. Unfortunately, Nicola Sturgeon is a fanny and won't open the gyms. Yeah, we've been able to work around it. It's been a different fight camp, but I'm still in tip-top shape and can't wait for 2 weeks' time.
Yeah. Well, whenever I looked at your social media, even in the beginning of proper lockdown, you were always cycling somewhere or doing some mad challenge. We've spoken about it before. So I knew your fitness levels were going to be through the roof, but I guess you need to be back in the gym to kind of be sparring and finding that range before a fight.
Yeah, I'm having to meet my mates in the park now. for sparring. We're having to spar in people's back gardens and stuff.
Kimbo Slice style.
Kimbo Slice, that's me. The white Kimbo Slice.
So did you ever expect that at this stage in your career, at like such an important fight, you'd be training like this?
No, never. Just, like when it first happened, like I was accepted it for what it is, but now everyone's getting to train apart from Scotland. It's so shit.
Yeah, it is tough and it's really hard to keep up with the differences between the rules and what's coming in and what's going out. But I guess you've just been focused on the gym side of things and what you're allowed to do there.
Yeah, and then we just got the bombshell dropped on us a couple of days ago that we need to isolate in a hotel room for 4 days before Cage Warriors.
Right.
Yeah. So, obviously getting time off of work for that was a nightmare, and then my coaches having to get time off of their work. And, it's been a bit of a pain in the ass. And then my Safe MMA had just ran out as well.
Right.
So I had to get that redone, and Graham Boylan put up a post saying if it's not done by Monday, you miss your fight. So I've only had 3 days to get that done.
That's why Luke's not here. Luke's doing that tomorrow, I think. He needs to drive down to Manchester for it. Nobody will do it up here for him or whatever. So that's why he pulled out tonight.
So what does that involve, Aidan?
Just the MRI, bloods, and I can't remember what else. Just all your medicals, basically.
Yeah. And is that every 18 months or 2 years or something? You need that updated?
Every 12 months.
Right.
So I don't know if we're going to get an extension because of lockdown, because no one's been able to compete for the last 6 months.
Yeah.
I'd imagine we won't, though.
So how much does that cost?
I don't know if it's like 600. It was £700. The last one was 600.
Yeah.
But my sponsors are the best bunch, and they helped me out with that big time.
Fantastic. We'll give them a massive shout out at the end. But so that's you. You've done all that, and your medical's all in and submitted and everything now.
Yeah. So now we just got to. I've got another week of work left, and then I work on the Monday, and then we'll drive down to Manchester on the Tuesday.
So when did you find out about the fact you were going to have to isolate in Manchester? Because I
Friday.
think, oh, okay,
So
Friday.
you know what I mean. It wasn't because normally we have to give work 2 weeks, at least 2 weeks notice. And that's like just a week and a half's notice.
Yeah.
But my boss is quite supportive. So I could tell that I don't think he wanted to give me the time off, but he was quite supportive, so it was good.
And where do you work, Aidan? What do you do?
I work for a galvanizing firm, Highland Galvanizers. So if anyone's needing any steel galvanized, give us a shout. Let's sort that out for you.
And shout out to your boss for giving you the time off as well.
Yeah, I'm actually just catching up on last night's UFC as well. I'm watching it in the background. So if you see me looking distracted, that's probably why.
Well, I don't think there'll be that much to distract you, but we'll come on to that a bit later as well. So let's talk about your fight, because you're fighting Paul Hughes. There's a hell of a lot of hype behind him. He's undefeated. He gets a lot of press. How do you feel about having a fight with him? Because you are a big step up in competition for him.
I just look at it the same as any other fight. I don't get involved in the whole hype process behind the fights. I just, you know what I mean? I've had that many fights now that it's just another fight. I don't get emotionally attached to the fights. I'm looking forward to it. He's a great fighter. It's one of those fights that makes me want to get out of bed in the morning and train hard. And that's all I've got to say. I'm sorry. I'm not going to sit here and talk shit about him. He's a great fighter. He's very exciting. I can see why he's got so much hype around him. So it's just going to be a good fight. Like I say, he's always involved in exciting fights. I'm always involved in exciting fights. So you just know how this fight's going to go. It's the same when I fought Steve Aimable. You know, everyone predicted it was going to be a great fight, and it was.
Yeah.
So
you're very similar in your kind of way that you talk about a fight to him. I've interviewed him recently about his fight on the same card, and he's got Jordan Vucenic, and he's very much the same. Like he's a good fighter, and I've got nothing bad to say about him, and I respect him. And there's just not a lot of shit talk out of either of you. You don't seem like trash talkers.
No, I just like to say we're going to fight. I don't see why we need to talk shit about each other. We're going to fight anyway, so I don't see the point.
Yeah. Well, it's such an amazing. The whole of the trilogy cards are amazing, but your night is really geared around featherweights, and
I haven't actually seen what's happening in each fight. I don't know who's headlining what show.
Well, Morgan Charrier is on your night, and
Okay.
Steve Aimable's also fighting. So I really feel like any of you could be in the title mix, the title talk. Obviously, the vacant titles being fought for on the night. What do you think of that fight?
I think Morgan's going to have not an easy night, but I think he's got his work cut out for him. He's great. He's a great fighter. You know, I really enjoy watching him. But I haven't watched his fight with is it Lewis?
Yeah.
Monarch. Is it? Lewis
hang
Monarch
on.
from Sunderland. From Fish. No. Sorry, I'm rubbish with names and gems, but
I've just got no memory these days.
He fought him at 106 at that Night of Champions, and
yeah, it was Lewis Monarch. Yeah,
he it was very close fight. I think Lewis definitely showed a lot of openings in Morgan's game, and then obviously Morgan's fight against Dean Truman. I think just Dean was cutting too much weight and he wasn't able to perform his best, and I think that's how he managed to. I'm not taking anything away from him. I'm just saying I think that had the fight been earlier on in Truman's career, I think he'd have done better. But I think the weight cut was just getting to him.
Yeah, that's it. That's interesting. I hadn't considered that, but he obviously moved up to lightweight straight after that fight, so it could definitely be that that's the case. Miles said, "Hi guys, all 3 events look like fireworks. 116 has a bunch of great bouts on it as well." Yeah, just all of the cards look really amazing. Just you're on the one, yeah, you are on the 116 card, and that's the one that's really, I think, going to decide your division. So where do you see yourself if you get a win on Saturday the 25th? It's against somebody with a lot of hype behind them. Where do you see your name? How many fights off a title shot do you think you are?
I don't care. Like I say, I just want to have fights against the best guys in the division. Just keep challenging myself. The belt's nice, but so is been a fan favourite. And I'd rather, like I said, I don't even know who. I think Perry Goodwin is obviously next in line for the title, but I saw he had said on Instagram that he wasn't going to fight again this year. So if they do another show before the end of the year, I'd imagine either who impresses more out of me and Hughes or Amabel and Vucenic, whoever puts on the best performance out of the 4 of us, would probably be next in line for the year, and then a fight with Perry Goodwin after the new year. So
yeah, I was surprised to see that post from Perry. Is he injured?
I think I just don't think he had enough time to cut the weight.
Yeah, I know he's fought as high as welter, so maybe the cut to featherweight is a tough one for him. But it must be very exciting to be that close. Like you said, it could just be this one fight if you impress on the night, and then the next one's a title shot.
Yeah, well, when I fought Steve, it was actually the winner that was going to get a title shot.
Yeah.
So I knew I had that in McGrath, but came up short of that fight. But
it was a great fight. When I interviewed him the other day, we had a comment from someone saying that they'd love to see you guys rematch in the future, maybe for the belt. I don't think anyone would argue with seeing that fight again.
Yeah, like I said, getting the rematch would be nice, but at the same time, we've fought, and there's loads of other fights out there for us. You know what I mean? The only way I could see us fighting again is if it was a title fight or a contenders fight. But I like Steve. I like watching his fights, especially his last one against Goodwin. It was awesome.
Who did you have winning that?
So I had Steve winning, but I watched it back and it was a lot closer the second time watching it back. So like I said, I'm not a judge. You know what I mean? It was a lot closer watching it the second time back though.
Most of the judges aren't judges either.
No comment.
I'm being picked up here. There ain't no if. You mean when he impresses. I obviously meant when you impress, Aidan.
Who's that, Kieran?
Yeah, Kieran Sutherland.
Yeah.
Let me ask you what you think about Mads Burnell going to Bellator. Were you surprised?
Not really. I think Bellator is just as big a platform as UFC is now. From what I've been hearing and from what I've been seeing, they pay extremely well, and I don't think UFC is the be all and end all anymore. I think Bellator is definitely getting a lot bigger, and I don't miss, like, I very rarely miss a Bellator card now. I don't like it when they put like all the 50-year-olds against each other.
People die in the ring. Heart attacks.
Like I say, I've only got one fight left in my Cage Warriors contract, so
is this it, or one fight after this one?
One fight after this, yeah.
Right.
So I know that when Ross got the title shot, it was on his last fight of his contract, so he had to sign a new contract in order to get the title shot. So like, if I was to win my fight, I don't know if I'd have to sign a new contract before getting a title shot or what. But
how would you feel about that?
Like I say, I'm. I always used to say I never fought for money. I would do it for free. But recently, like, just having to shift work as well, so I'm working like nights, like 6 at night till 6 in the morning, and you know, getting the training in as well. Like it can be a bit difficult, so you know, maybe I'd have to start looking at like better pay, but at the same time enjoy fighting for Cage Warriors, and you know, I really appreciate for what they've done for my career so far. And you know, Boylan and Ian Dean are, you know, top guys, so I don't know. I'd have to wait and see what happens. But you know, the thought of fighting for Bellator would be quite cool.
Yeah.
If the opportunity arose.
Could you
I'm
not
not
get
sitting there thinking, you know, I'm going to Bellator, that's my plan. I don't have a plan, I'm just going to see what happens. Just
could your wife not get 2 jobs and you could go full time? Really?
Well, I actually applied for a job with the Scottish Mail, the Royal Mail, sorry. So we could be work buddies one day.
You're not good enough to do my job.
Says the boy that said he was going to run a marathon.
Yeah, can we mention that? So when Aidan was last on the show, Peter was battered, and he promised that he was going to run a marathon on the Tuesday. I think you were taking the piss out of Scott Malone's time for doing a marathon with no preparation, and you said that you could do it in 3 hours with no preparation, and we're still waiting for you to do it.
Yeah,
out of the 3 of us, you're the only one that's not run a marathon here.
Yeah.
You can talk a marathon, but you can't run them.
Sorry, I missed Miles' comment there saying that Cage Warriors needs to go to France at some point. They certainly do. If Morgan, yeah.
That was
so
before lockdown.
I thought MMA was illegal in France.
So they legalized it very recently, and I guess with COVID and everything, like it hasn't been the right time to go there. But you mentioned Ross Houston a minute ago. How cool is that? So he's fighting MVP in Paris. How's that for a first matchup in Bellator?
Like I say, he's never taken an easy fight in his life. He was calling out all the top guys prior to this fight, so I can't wait to see him. I was going to say I can't wait to see him shock the world, but I'm not even going to be shocked when he wins. Like, I watched this MVP's fight against Paul Daly, and he, you know, came down to that 5th round. He was very lucky to walk away with that win. I just think Ross is going to make the adjustments that Paul Daly never.
Yeah.
And although Paul Daly is amazing striker, Ross is an amazing striker as well. I just think Ross's striking stylistically is a better fight against MVP than Paul Daly's striking.
I also think he's happy to take 1 or 2 shots to land one as well, which I think you need to be like that to fight MVP. But I also had Paul Daly as like one of my guesses for who Ross would be fighting. That's another fight I'd love to see in the future. There are a lot of good matchups for him there, aren't there?
Yeah, I cannot wait.
Was it not the Paul Daly MVP fight that Paul didn't throw a punch in the first round?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, but I think their styles against each other, that fight would happen again if they fought again. I just think it's just because of their bad blood, you want that to be a good fight, but it just didn't work. But I missed a comment there from Brad. Sorry, Peter. Brad Walton said he was trying to watch one of those live non-streams. Must have clicked on this by mistake. What's happening, gang? Could you ask Aidan how he feels about fighting in an empty venue, and also who his favourite Cage Warriors commentator is?
By the way, Aidan, it looks like the nonce with that Liverpool top on.
At least my team got to play this weekend. What's your excuse? Just because you've got the young shaggers in your team? Nah. What was the question? How's it?
How you feel about fighting in an empty venue?
Yeah.
Just like fighting at Forza.
Well, you've already done it once at 113, haven't you?
Yeah, I never really noticed the difference, to be fair. You're in the zone.
Do you hear what the opposition's coaches and stuff? Do you hear that? Does that come into your head?
Yeah, you can hear the commentators as well.
Right.
So
you can hear that going, unbelievable!
I remember landing a massive elbow, and I remember when the commentators like shouting and screaming. It's like, oh, nice one. So it started feeling
Amazing, because I know that Strauss, like at certain times, he was really talking through jiu-jitsu moves and stuff, and I did think that might be helpful if you were trying to escape from something, or if you're trying to, what he needs to do now is so who is your favourite Cage Warriors commentator, Aidan?
Oh, they're all my favourites.
Oh, there's only one watching, and he still couldn't bring himself to say you, Brad.
I don't do favourites.
So talk about your last fight quickly, Aidan, because it was a quick fight. I know we spoke about it when you were on before, but just for the people that didn't watch, like it was such a short fight. Do you take much from that, or was it too short for you to? And the fact it was a change of opponent as well, does it make it hard to take as much from that?
No, it was just worked on a game plan for a certain opponent for a whole 7 or 8 weeks, and then all of a sudden we had to change it. But I'm gonna sound like a dick saying this, but here it was. So like Paul Hughes' last two opponents. Fuck you. Paul Hughes' last two opponents. I know they've been like, it's not his fault. It's been the late replacements, but they've been like absolute bums. And I've always said if you ever put someone like that in front of me, I'd finish them in a minute. And again, no disrespect to my last opponent, but just wasn't my level. And I got rid of them in the first minute. And I've always said, anyone can look good fighting bums, like head kick knockouts and all these different submissions. And that. Anyone can look that good fighting someone that's less than them. But that I was just an example as for my last fight. It's just what happens when you fight someone that's less than you. I could have easily kept the fight standing for a couple of rounds to get that highlight reel knockout, but at the same time, I just want to get the fight over and done with as quick as I can, and just show them that they don't belong in the cage with you. So I don't know if that sounded nasty or not, but
no, I don't think so. There is always that problem with last minute replacements, and it was definitely more unevenly matched than most of the most of the matchups on Cage Warriors cards. However, you still got to beat who's in front of you, and you still did it like 110% impress rate, but I guess for you that was just what you expected because you felt he wasn't on your level.
I was actually annoyed that it took a minute. It should have taken 30 seconds at very most, but I remember he kept turning away. I kept punching the back of the head. I was trying to hit him, and then he would turn away and catch the back of his head. So then that's when I had to start choosing my shots a lot more wisely. I could have easily finished it before that, but then I had to start changing my shots up. That's why it took a minute.
I believe he's on your card as well, so you'll get to see him again. He is a very sweet guy.
We've been in contact ever since the fight. We talk all the time, so he knows it's not a disrespect. I'm not being disrespectful. I'm just saying that there's levels. And,
yeah.
That's again Paul Hughes. It's the same thing. I'm not saying that there's levels and this is a big step up for him. It's not. We're both very similar fighters, and it's just gonna be a great fight.
It is going to be a great fight. It's one of the ones I'm most excited about, and but I think the whole featherweight division is super exciting and really open. So I'm just really delighted.
Versus Vucenic, that's gonna be a good fight. I knew it was happening, but I didn't know it was the same night. So
yeah. Yeah, I think they've put a lot of flyweight fights on one card and bantamweight fights on like the middle card to really.
We booked too many flyweights, Katie.
I just know how to get rid of them. But just in one night, you get to kind of see how the division's going to play out. What I love about Cage Warriors is there's a real kind of pathway towards a title, and in your mind you can almost see who people are going to be matched with next. That's why I couldn't work out who Steve Aimable was going to get this time. And
I was actually meant to be fighting Hennon, Josh Hennon. No.
Oh, James
Hendon, that's the one.
Yeah,
that was my original opponent.
So what happened there?
I think he must have got injured.
Yeah. Chris Gadden wants to know the favourite venue you fought in, Aidan.
Probably that Ice Arena in Wales. The Welsh fans are awesome. They're probably the only fans I've ever seen that have matched a Scottish crowd. I've never fought in Ireland. I'd imagine the Irish are probably just.
Who was main event for that card, Aidan? Was it Jack Shore or?
Yeah, Jack Shore versus I can't remember his name.
Right, Jack always brings a big crowd, big atmosphere.
Yeah, and then I had to fight his teammate. So but that's the thing. I had to fight his teammate. I thought he was going to get booed, but even the fans were still, giving me a cheer. It was cool because the Welsh people are not dicks.
What a compliment!
You're Welsh, dick.
I'm joking.
So, can I ask what fight, apart from yours, you're most looking forward to on out of all the trilogy fights? Which one?
Adam versus I can't remember his opponent's name. The ginger lad for Liverpool.
Oh, Conor Hignett. Sorry, Adam Almarazinga.
Yeah.
No.
That's right.
Yeah.
I can't wait for that fight.
Yeah, no, that's going to be a good fight. Obviously, he was supposed to be on the show to tell us about it, but Conor's last fight was just incredible. Like a comeback like that is just insane.
So was Adams, though.
Yeah, and Adams. That knee as well, the fight IQ as well to just take a step back and finish with that knee was just amazing. Who's Josh Smith? What hairstyle are you going for before the fight?
Dreadlocks.
Anything better than your hair, Josh.
What haircut have you got?
Oh, you don't even want to know. You would. Oh, forget it. He's having a joke because his girlfriend's just started working for my sponsor, the Angry Barber, or his wife, sorry, and she cut my hair last time. So that's what he's on about. He's trying to be big and clever, but he knows I'd waste him.
Oh dear. So that was everything that I had on Cage Warriors, but I don't know if you want to talk about any of the current events in MMA, Peter.
Yeah, no, there's loads of other comments were put on before the show started, but because the software is a problem with Facebook, so the comments that came up beforehand do not come up on screen. But I've got them all here by the looks of it. Okay. So, what is Aidan's thoughts on the governing body forming for Scottish MMA?
Yeah, that's 100% back in that. It's absolutely ridiculous how, hundreds of people can go to a pub, but you can't go, even getting to open the gym was a hassle. Yeah. So, yeah, I'll be back in that 100%. It's just ridiculous that it's even had to go to this point.
Yeah. What's the latest on that, Peter?
Yeah, well, I actually got news just before we came on. There's going to be, I know UMA, United Mixed Martial Arts, a Scottish charity, now looking to become a governing body. And I think the aim this week was to get at least 20 gyms and all the people go to the gyms to back it, and then give that to Sport Scotland, and then see if they can officially make us a governing body. And I got news just before the show. There's somebody in the government who might back us as well. So we'll find out more on that tomorrow. The sports minister who might back the cause as well. So I reckon a governing body will be in place this year for Scottish MMA, which will benefit everybody. And as Aidan would know, there's lots of fighters on shows not getting paid and still not being paid, stuff like that. So it'll hopefully stop things like that in the future. And it's something that should have been brought in a while ago. So
big shout out to David Galbraith for what he's been doing. He's obviously leading the forefront with this.
Yep.
So
well done, David.
Yeah.
What is Aidan's favourite food? I love banana. That comes from MMA Funny.
Who was that?
MMA Funny.
I like pineapple. I'm just watching the Ed Herman fight from last night. Have you heard about what?
Watch that one very carefully.
I haven't actually seen it. It's not happened yet. But apparently he gets kneed in the belly and he goes down holding his groin and then he comes back and wins.
Yeah, there's one just
the third
before
round.
That's
when
right.
When he comes down, it catches the tip of his dick, but nothing happens. And then after that, he gets another knee at the belly.
It looked like he took one to the top of the chest, like when I was watching the replay. But to me, it didn't even look like he grabbed his dick until the referee said time out, and then he obviously thought, I better go with this.
And then when they interviewed him, he goes, "Oh, I can't remember. I was knackered. He didn't know kind of what to say about it." So.
This thing just had me cracking up when he was like, I need to find out who his acting coach is.
Remember when Josh Koscheck kept faking
his
head?
Yeah, he was a dirty bastard, eh?
I couldn't stand him.
Yeah, he was a fake eye poke or something, wasn't it? He was holding it.
Yeah, but then there was one where he was fighting.
Was a new one with the knee as well, wasn't it?
He threw a knee and it skipped his afro and he went down holding his face.
Yeah.
Can't remember who it was against.
Down the opponent, fake knee, wasn't it? Yeah.
But hey.
So if you're watching that fight now, does that mean you didn't see the main event yet?
I've seen the main event. That's the only one I've watched.
You watched that. What did you think? I didn't think the decision was that controversial, but I've seen a lot of people online say they thought Hill should have won it. It was obviously close.
It was definitely 2-2 going into the fifth.
Yeah.
But I definitely think Hill won.
Oh, you think Hill won?
Yeah.
I thought Hill won.
I'm not calling it a robbery. It was close enough, but I still think should have more than enough to win.
It's a Paul Daly fight, remember? Because Paul Daly got up and hooked him.
Paul Daly, that after the bell was what got him out of the UFC. So you just don't do Semtex dirty like that.
I remember that because I had a load of my friends round to watch it on the Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
And I just remember everyone going crazy when he threw that punch. and then Joe Rogan had to rub it in and goes, that was the best punch he landed the whole fight.
Oh gosh. But he's exiled from the UFC over that, so another reason to
I'm not seeing the judges' scorecards of the main event, but Hill definitely won the last round, but I don't think that's why she won the overall fight. I think the judges gave other rounds.
It was a split decision, and
one of them had 3 rounds up. One of them was give it 3 rounds up, didn't they?
Yeah. But I was listening to Angela Hill on UFC Unfiltered podcast this week, and she was just saying whenever there's a close decision, it doesn't go away. She's been on what she feels is the wrong side of a lot of them. But I think it's tough in women's MMA in the lower weight classes. There's less finishes, so the chance if all of your fights end in decisions, the chance of getting a bad one is obviously higher than when you're finishing more of them. But
it's such a good fight. You could have a rematch. You never know.
Yeah, that was her 5th fight this year. It's crazy.
I know, it's incredible. She's such a character. They both are. They both are such characters. But maybe need to go back and rewatch it.
But I don't know I don't even know if I'll get 3 fights this year because of COVID.
Yeah.
This could be it then, your last fight this year. Unless Cage Warriors do something big again.
Hopefully I can get some grappling competitions in then because I still want to keep active.
And when you think you were the last fight before, like, well, we're literally going into lockdown when you fought last, and now you're going to be the first Cage Warriors event with a third night, but like, so
I never thought of that.
Yeah, got more in than everyone else. Have they spoken about whether they'll do another one before the end of the year, or are they waiting to see how this one plays out?
They've not even got another one booked. No, nothing. Probably just wait and see if this one's a success first, and then I'll probably go for it. I'd happily fight all 3 nights. It'd be cool.
I wonder if they'd ever think of doing a tournament like that if they do it again. But I would have thought, I don't know. Would you rather fight a few times in one night, or would you rather fight over 3 days?
Both. I'll fight 9 times over 3 days. No, I enjoy that. It was actually my last fight before I signed to Cage Warriors, and it was I think Chris Vanguard had just vacated his lightweight title for On Top. It was a Scottish promotion. It's probably the biggest Scottish promotion, and there was two lightweight main events. It was me against Paul McCulloch, and Stevie Mop was fighting a French dude or German or something like that. And they said, "Oh, how about we make it a 4-man tournament?" But it was at lightweight. I only took the fight just to keep active, and I don't really want to fight Stevie Mop either because he's my mate, or like I hope he is. And so they could have had a 4-man tournament that night, but just it wouldn't have worked out.
Mm. Let us know when you get to the bit in the Ed Herman fight where.
So round 2's just started, so I'm waiting for it.
Okay, it's at the end of this round. I'll keep you chatting till then.
There's more questions.
Was that all the questions?
No, there's loads. Martial Arts and Fitness Club. Who are your favourite fighters? I love Connor, even though he's arrested again.
For me, it's always going to be Frankie Edgar and Dominic Cruz. Even though they're kind of over the hill now, they were always the two.
Oh, Frankie had a good win, didn't he, recently?
Yeah, he never won that fight.
He didn't win that fight.
No
but
way.
He's still a legend.
Oh yeah, no man.
He's so good to watch. Was it Gray Mariner? These fights with him, remember?
They are my favourite to watch ever. They're always on the list of fights that I would tell people who aren't into MMA to watch if they want to see a good fight. And I love that he's just always up for it, and he put his title shot against Max like on the line by fighting Brian Ortega, and he's just got big balls, and you know,
2 different divisions, isn't it? He's won it. So
yeah, I worry about someone cutting to bantam right at the end of their career, but he looks good at bantam. I wish he'd done it earlier, but he's an absolute legend. What did you think of Conor getting in trouble again, Aidan, or potentially getting in trouble?
Just people can't take a joke these days. Nah, I'm joking. You know what I mean? Someone as famous as Conor, there's going to be allegations against him all the time. So until we actually find out any more information, it's not really worth saying anything.
A newlywed was going to the toilet and you whipped out his knob. That's what's coming out.
Wasn't he there with Dave?
It sounds like a good night out to me, but fuck.
Sounds like
we've all done stupid things when we're drunk and all that, but obviously because it's Conor McGregor, and you think now he'd have learned his lesson. He's a father now and all that, and stay in. But
we don't
that's if it's true. It's obviously allegedly, but he definitely was arrested, and that's what the prosecution team is doing. So we'll just need to wait and see what happens. And he's retired, but he's still getting tested by USADA. So
I saw somebody made a comment on one of our posts saying, well, you have to update the USADA log to tell him where they are. And how did they find him on his yacht if he hadn't put on the USADA thing where he was going to be? So clearly he's still updating that. Yeah.
You think you'll fight Diaz again now? It kind of sets up. That would be nice to see the third one. I think the timing's right for that now.
How heartbroken I am to learn that Dustin Poirier isn't fighting.
I know.
Dustin Connor's another one, a rematch. It's a different Dustin now. He's an animal now. So.
Why did the fight not happen? As I said,
I think Dustin asked for too much money. They
couldn't come to terms on Dustin.
We know how much Dustin charges just for an interview, let alone a fucking fight. So he outpriced us. We couldn't interview him, charging too much.
After watching this fight with Hooker, it's just happened. The knee.
That you go and watch it carefully.
Watch it in slow motion.
After watching Poirier's fight with Hooker, you should be able to ask for any amount of money.
Yeah, you could think, just splash out the money, especially the money that Connor and all the other ones could get. So he probably deserves it.
Yeah, and there's no one that I want those two to fight more than each other. Like
that's as exciting as Tony versus Khabib, that fight.
Yeah. So who do you give Tony if he's not having Dustin?
Oh man, hit him in the chest.
Like quite high up on the pec as well, wasn't it?
A chest in the man boob really hurts.
Oh man. It's not even like his dick was up at his chest. So.
Maybe got a big dick.
I can't see it.
Maybe a small big dick.
That's so strange.
But Michael Bisping was kind of saying it's bad and defending it at the same time. It was very weird. You got to do what you got to do, kind of thing. It was.
Maybe he got in trouble after criticising refs before. He made quite a song and dance about that guy falling through the cage that Modestas had just knocked out. But yeah, he's probably got somebody in his ear.
I think the ref should have seen that one as well. I don't know why he stopped it.
Well, even real time, I didn't think it looked close. Like when he did the timeout, I didn't know what it was for.
You know what? I refereed once at a show, and it is unbelievably hard to actually see.
What show was it, Aidan?
It was one of the Headhunter shows, and the guy got kneed in the face when he was on his knees. But from my vantage point, it looked like it hit him in the chest. So like he folded, and then the guy finished him a ground and pound, went and saved him, and then I looked up, and his face was clattered in blood. But it was too late. I'd stopped the fight. But I knew when I saw the blood that it was from a knee to the face. It was just from where, like my angle definitely looked like his chest, just because.
Yeah.
And then, his corner team are going crazy at me, and I'm like, so I could never.
Did you admit it to them?
Oh yeah. So I told them straight away that I knew it had happened, but I'd already called it.
So was that something you got roped into on the night, or how did you end up refereeing there?
I got asked a week before it because the original referee had pulled out. I think someone had put up saying, "Does anyone know any referees?" and someone attacked me.
I think I've seen that before. Craig Mopp's another one that's been pulled into referee for shows like that as well. And
yeah, Craig's a really good referee.
Yeah, he's really good.
He's always like. I don't know if you've ever seen Giles Garcia refereeing any. The best grappling referee ever. He's doing a handstand to try and figure out if he chokes him, and he's just crawling about the floor. And it's so much. He's so passionate about jiu-jitsu as well.
Yeah,
I'd rather watch him referee than actually watch a fight.
And how bad did you feel afterwards? Yeah, send me a video. I want to see it.
Yeah, I think you'll see it on the Scottish grappling videos and all that. I'll have a look out for you, Katie.
Okay.
More question. What would be your dream fight if you could fight in the UFC right now?
Maybe Dustin. Just thinking of guys my weight. I'd probably make the drop to bantamweight actually to fight either Cruz or Frankie or someone like that. I don't know. I'd just because I don't cut any weight to make featherweight. I used to fight at bantamweight, and then I just couldn't be bothered dieting. So
yeah.
Frankie will still be there time you make a UFC anyway. He can fight forever.
Yeah, he will.
I know. Taking his Zimmer frame down to the cage.
I've spoken to quite a few people who feel that way though. Like if if you've only got a certain number of weight cuts in you, then why kill yourself getting to, say for you, bantamweight now if you're going to fight like 10 times before you get to the UFC? So like you want to be saving them for your kind of biggest fight.
I always keep my weight low in case like there's any last minute pullouts or grappling events coming up as well. I like to enter a lot of grappling competitions. Not as much recently, but in the last 2 years, I've been doing quite a lot. So, I like to keep my weight low for that.
Yeah.
And we've always got guys in the gym with the events coming up, so we're always training. Like if we're not training for our own fight, we're training for someone else's. So.
Yeah. Oh, suggestion from Chris Gadden.
Oh, Mali, no.
You cannot beat him mentally. He's a mentally world champion, right?
Even if I beat him, he'd still say that I never.
He's 12-0. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
No.
I think because he's young and arrogant, he's just going to give his opponent no credit whatsoever.
Yeah.
The opponent was brilliant on the night, absolutely brilliant.
Let's make no mistake. Like if they were to rematch, I'd probably think Sean would probably win, but.
I don't know. I think there's something up with his leg. There's something up with it. I think he might be done.
It's the same thing that happened to Cejudo when Mighty Mouse landed that leg kick.
And Chandler.
He just didn't give him any time to shake it off. He kept the pressure on him, whereas Cejudo managed to clinch and then obviously take it.
Well, whoever O'Malley gets next, that leg's going to get tested. And
I've had it before. I've been kicked in the leg. It wasn't even a big kick, but it just landed right in the nerve, and your whole leg was numb. It's nasty, man.
A lot of people shout for Nathaniel Wood to fight O'Malley next. So that
I heard Ed Herman win this fight. He's just been smashed.
Exactly.
Well, you're coming right up to the end, so we should let you watch that. Are there any more questions from Peter?
Yeah, there's loads. Hang on. Well, MMA Scotland were asking about our thoughts on Ross Houston with MVP, which we covered already. We all know Ross Houston can rip his head off and put it on a stick, like in that picture we seen earlier today. Evolution of Combat. What fight is Aidan looking forward to most at Evolution of Combat next Saturday? You've been watching, see what matchups are on?
Yeah, I quite like Chris McKee. I'm looking forward to his fight. Yeah, we'll go for Reese.
We've got a cracking main event. We've got Scott Malone and Kieran. There's a link actually in the comments. It's only £10 and it's a great night of fights. Lots of good fighters in that one. Bare knuckle boxing. Obviously, we might have multiple guests. It was for anyone. Any of you got balls to try a real sport like bare knuckle?
Oh, I'm having to turn my head because my nose is facing the wrong way. So if someone promised to punch my nose back straight, then yeah, maybe. Nah, I'd like to give bare knuckle a go, but probably like at the later stages of my career.
Yeah, it's easier in your body, and all that. I think Brad Pickett said that, Katie, didn't he? He said it's much easier in MMA, much easier in his body, so it's something you can still do.
Yeah, it's less intensive in the training. Yeah.
No way, you won me that Kimura. That is unbelievable. I bet he cost so much people money last night.
I know, and then just the I can't really remember afterwards.
I'll tell you what, I'll actually pause it just now so that I can watch the interview after this.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucked up. I can't remember. I was knackered.
Yeah. So Leon Mitchell wants to know what fight you've learnt the most from and who's the best striker and the best grappler you've faced.
So, that's a good one. Dominic Wooden's definitely the best striker I've faced. He was like actually landing jabs from like angles that I didn't even know existed. So definitely Dom's the best. Best grappler I've ever faced. I would like to say Carl Alner because he actually finished me with a choke, but I was doing quite well in the grappling before that, so I don't know. I don't know, Leon, sorry. I faced lots of very good grapplers, that's for sure. Probably Scott Malone. our fight, his grappling was really good as well. And seeing what he, taking a round off of Jack Shore with his grappling. Yeah, probably Scott Malone's probably the best grappler. And the fight I learned the most from was obviously the loss to Carl Elner, because I learned that I can't actually drink the whole fight camp and decide 3 weeks before the fight camp that I'm going to start dieting. And
have some bananas.
I actually have to train for fights.
So how much did you give yourself to lose, like weight-wise, on fight week?
So 6 weeks prior to the fight, I was in Dubai and I was 80 kilos. I had to get down to 65. And I think fight week, I was 75 kilos.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I kept fainting in the bath, and my girlfriend was going to work, and she was like, I can't go to work and leave you like this. And I was like, no, I'll be fine. Like, actually, I had a harder weight cut getting to featherweight than I did to bantamweight. I was just going through some shit. But I'm not taking anything away from Carl. He would have probably beat me without the shit weight cut, because he was just on top form that night.
So is that one of the lessons that you've learned for keeping your weight low going forward?
Yeah, definitely. Just don't get mad with
it. Staying in shape all year round.
Yeah, it wasn't a good time. Going through some shit, but it's all good. Any
more questions, Peter?
Yeah, there's one more. MMA Fit. It's actually a question we seem to get every week now. Favourite combat movie?
What's that?
Favourite combat movie?
Don't really have one, sorry. I don't really watch much.
You watch
I've watched all the Bruce Lee films, but I don't know what any of them are called.
Enter the Dragon, Fist of Fury, Dragon, loads of them.
So, Bruce Lee, he's the man.
I just finished watching that Kingdom last weekend, and a lot of people saying it ended stupid and it needs to be a post series, but I thought it ended perfectly. Finally got through it. Yeah, I've watched the first series today. I was binge watching. It's only 30 minutes an episode, and I thought I'll get through this quite quick.
Is it actually worth watching?
Yeah, it's good. There's a few people make guest appearances from the old movies and all that. So, and I actually Johnny's kind of like a good guy in a way as well. It's very funny. It's more of a comedy and all that. And Daniel's a bit of a dick as well, so it's quite good.
Oh, Ed Herman's getting interviewed. I'll watch it after.
We won't keep you too much longer, Aidan. I just wanted to give a shout out to the dentist who's fighting next weekend on Fight Island against Kevin Holland. That's going to be an amazing fight.
Kevin Holland is a monster, and so is Darren.
I know.
I'm moist. I'm sweating just thinking about that one. Man. It's an absolute belter of a fight.
Yeah, I know. I'm so excited.
In his last fight, it was on Cage Warriors, wasn't it?
So he's fought since then and won, but he lost to Fabinski on your Cage Warriors card. So yeah,
I knew his other fight since then. I watched it.
Yeah, because remember he done the Jai tribute, didn't he, in his interview and all that. Jai Shepherd and all that. So.
Yeah, so he's. I'm just super excited to see him back in action. He's one of my favourites. So we wish you the best of luck, Darren. We'll be thinking of you, and I'm just buzzing for that fight. And I also wanted to give a big shout out to Evolution of Combat, and remind people that they can buy tickets for their show. Peter, can you remind people of the prices?
£10, but it does go up on the day of the fight. I think to £15, which was the normal price. So you have to order it before Friday. There's quite a few tickets sold already. £10 to see Scott Malone, to see Reece McKeown. £10. Kieran Malone's on there doing a grappling fight. £10 to watch.
You confused me earlier, Aidan, because I thought you said Reece McKee, and I was thinking he's not going to be on Evolution of Combat, but it's the accent. And I worked out a few minutes later that you meant Reece McKeown.
Yeah, Reese is on a tear right now, pro, and he just his last fight, Evolution of Combat, co-main event, the crowd absolutely went mental, and just you have to watch Reese to see how good he is. He's one. I always say Sean Clancy, Matt Ewan, and all that. Reese, future Scottish MMA as well, absolutely nice guy as well. He's so nice.
Yeah.
And we still not interviewed him yet. We need to get him on this week. I actually think Lewis Smith's working on that. So if you're watching Reese, you'll be getting a message for Lewis. But yeah, Evolution of Combat, £10. Such a good show. A show for the fighters. All you hear is good things. They really look after the fighters and all that. So please buy a ticket. There's not many other shows going on at the moment, so buy this.
So that's in terms of local. But talking of Lewis doing interviews, he's also interviewing Ross Houston on Tuesday at 9 p.m. So tune in for that.
And we've got a Cage Warriors prediction show where we get to talk about Aidan behind his back next Monday. So we'll be predicting all the big fights on the Cage Warriors Trilogy show. So you get to see me see Aidan's going to kick him in the dick and win. So.
Yeah, Cage prediction show the 21st. What's your prediction for your fight, Aidan?
My mic's going.
Get that Liverpool shit off my screen. I think he's going a bit weird. And now I can't hear Katie. Oh, here we go. Oh, he's gone. I didn't fucking... That's what happens when you put a Liverpool top on the screen. I didn't kick him. He just disappeared. I think his internet was starting to go there.
Yeah. We were almost done anyway. I guess he didn't want to give us his prediction for his fight, but we will be giving our predictions for it.
I think he's coming back on
Monday the 21st.
Yeah. And next Sunday there might be a Bellator special, hopefully, where we'll get a lot of the UK fighters on. There he is. He's back.
The sound is still a bit wrong, but we were virtually at the end. So all that remains to be said is to wish you all the best of skill for Saturday the 25th, Aidan. We'll be thinking of you. And it's one of the best fights on the card, and the card is stacked.
Thanks for having me. It's always good.
He sounds like a garlic. Exterminate! If you're internet, I think your internet's going. It's because you're showing that stinky, shitty badge. Oh, you know.
I did want you to shout out sponsors. Do you want to see if we can hear them, Aidan?
Just show us the list.
Oh, we've lost him.
I would like to thank Doctor Who Exterminate.
We did well to get to this point. Thank you so much to Aidan for coming on. At least we only lost his internet right at the end there. Peter, any final words from you?
Yeah, just to say, hopefully next Sunday we're hoping to have people like Ross Houston and Chris Bungard. I know he's fighting in Bellator. His fight's not been announced yet. Chris Duncan. You got somebody on as well, didn't you, Katie? Or who was that again? I can't remember, sorry.
Maybe Luke, if Luke's fight's announced.
Yeah, if their fights. Hopefully, for some reason, Bellator are leaving it very, very, very late. Obviously, the LA show was leaked today, which we knew about as well. So hopefully, during the course of the week, they can announce that. Or if not, the fighters will still come on anyway. So we can get this show on the road. So hopefully, we'll have a big Bellator special. Cage Warriors Monday, Evolution of Combat Saturday. And how busy are we going to be in the Cage Warriors week? Thursday, Friday, Saturday, doing results, try to do interviews, reactions, and all that. Busiest time of the year for me to work. I won't be getting much sleep that week. Absolutely crazy, absolutely stacked. And it's on UFC Fight Pass. If you don't have that, you better fucking get that now. That's for the main card.
Get a 7-day free trial, and that will cover you for all 3 shows.
I told the prelims are really good as well in Cage Warriors, but they're on the Cage Warriors website anyway. But obviously the big title fights.
Prelims. Yeah, there's people that could easily co-main a main card who are on the pro prelims. So yeah, it's insane.
Absolutely beautiful, and can't wait.
Me too.